Propriety is defined as conformity to conventionally accepted standards of behavior or morals. These are standards accepted by a given society, and these standards differ from one society to the other. It's not talking about civil law, but what is acceptable in a particular environment. For example, the moral standards here in Nigeria is quite different from the moral standards in the USA. In the USA, someone born as a man can easily decide that they're a woman, and the society will not only accept their decision but applaud it. But here in Nigeria, it is completely unacceptable. So what is acceptable as good morals in a particular society can be abominable in another society. So morals are not universal. Morals are relative. It's the same with food. Eating certain things can be a taboo in one society, but a delicacy in another. But the fact that something is acceptable in a society doesn't make it right. And because it's unacceptable in a society does not make it wrong. The fact that society accepts something doesn't mean God accepts it. And the fact that they forbid it does not mean God forbids it. It's important that one understands this so that you can give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's. Respect people's culture, but do not be bound in your heart by them. This means you should show regard for people by respecting their culture, but when it becomes unnecessary, drop it. This also includes religious societies. All laws are meant to serve humanity because man is superior to law. Law is not superior to man. So any law that seeks to oppress people should be resisted, whether it's in a community, a club, or a religious gathering. If they say God said so and it is oppressive, go and check it very well. It's either been fabricated or manipulated, because God does not give oppressive instructions. God is not an oppressor. Man is an oppressor. Why do human beings oppress others? Simply to gain undue advantage for themselves. And God does not need to do that. God's instruction may not make sense, but it is always easy. When the Red Sea was going to be parted, all Moses had to do was stretch the rod. When the Amalekites were defeated, all Moses had to do was raise his hands. Try and know the reason for every culture. It will help you to know how to relate with it. I am not saying you shouldn't obey the culture in your environment. Please do that. But if it becomes an undue burden on you or runs crosswise to the things required by Christ, if you're a Christian, let it go. Because the fact that it agrees with propriety does not mean it's compulsory for you. The Bible says that David danced naked in public. Now, does this agree with conventional morality? Does it agree with propriety? No, it doesn't. But the Bible also says that David did it unto the Lord. And his wife, who criticized him, went on to be barren, and David went on to become a great king. The fact that society agrees with something doesn't make it right. And the fact that they forbid